Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
10 years free comes back stronger than ever. Hey, I just to preface this, I had my first seizure or so around 10 and last tonic-clonic at 12. Every time I had one was usually around Christmas, getting too excited and having too much sugar and staying up too late. I would get a seizure aura at night and my tonic-clonic sees what happened. Now as an adult, I've been tonic-clonic seizure-free and even no seizure auras until the past 2 weeks. I'm 22 now. I believe it's been triggered from stress, etc., from exams, but what confuses me is I've done so much worse for health between that time, never even got the slightest feeling because I thought I was free from this. I was diagnosed with benign Rolandic epilepsy. Every night I get a seizure aura. Even during the day, I got put back on Keppra. I was off since I was 16, but now I'm on 100 milligrams. And the shit sucks, to say the least. It's barely effective, and I get side effects. I don't have an appointment with my neurologist until August 15th, but I really don't want to have a tonic-clonic again because, number one, they make it more likely to happen again, and number two, it's painful and extremely scary to deal with as well as experience. Number three, I really like driving. My question is, what do I do to mitigate or eliminate it again? I've never tried anything or other than Keppra, but I was thinking of trying Vimpat or off meds or anything that I can. It sucks so bad that we have to deal with this, and I thought I could finally be free of it. Any ideas of what is going on with me? I have never been seizure-free for more than 3 months. This is one for Kevin. Kevin, what if your seizures came back?
Well,
Let's knock on wood for you.
I kind of am expecting them to come. I'm not being negative here. I'm just it's just kind of like a matter of time. Like I said earlier, the body changes over time, and it's just, hey, if it happens, it happens. It's not gonna be the end of the world. It's just it's a matter of severity. And they said this person says they're 22
Yeah.
and they've been seizure free for 10 years. That's actually pretty good. And I don't want to say this is a bad thing, but but I don't think seizures go. I don't know of any case of seizures ever or seizure condition or epilepsy ever going away. I don't want to damper their mood, but I don't think it goes away. It doesn't go away. Anyone back me up on this?
Yeah, I feel like you just got to be ready for it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
The
let's say
is for
my
life.
break
Yeah.
compared to your 7-year break is like a few months. I'm always like on edge. Like I still have it, and you're probably like the same thing. I still have it, so I'm always wondering. It's always on my mind. It's on my mind every day, twice a day when I take those pills. It's just start thinking, oh, I have epilepsy. Sometimes I forget until it's medication time.
But I just want
I gotta take those freaking
congratulate
pills.
that person on 10 years. That's actually excellent, but I would evaluate anything that they did. I don't know what big changes they need to make because they were doing so well. It could just be anything simple in their life. Like I said, a change in their biology or anything simple. Like just don't get too worked up about it. That's all I would say. At this point in my life, it's what the person mentioned earlier, the sword of Damascus. It's always you always got that fear hanging over your head. Just don't worry too much about it. You're so young, and God, Jesus Christ, man, just don't worry.
Yeah, man,
Personality
that's
in
it in
would
a
say,
nutshell.
don't worry. Not easy. But yeah,
You
that
know,
person's been in it for a while.
I,
Tom, do
you
you have
went to
something? Oh, go ahead.
I just said that's it in a nutshell. I
Oh,
mean, it is what it is, right?
yeah.
We are epileptics. We will be epileptics, and that's the way it is. I talked to my doctor today, and it was funny because I made that comment, and he kind of his jaw dropped. What? That's it? Because I told him ex-cop right wasn't an option, and I said, well, unless they unless they come up with a cure, I'm epileptic, and that's just the way it is. I want to get back on Capra.
We can't say epileptic anymore, Tom.
Who can't?
No, sorry. It's a joke.
Tom's like, who said that? What?
And I got an adjustment on my VNS.
Today?
Yeah. Yeah,
So you
that's
should
what
see like
my
a change soon.
see there goes my voice. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, is that because of the VNS then?
Yeah, they just had it. I had it adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen my a neurologist in a while, and they changed the calibration on it. Upped it a little bit.
Okay.
See, there it goes.
So maybe you won't have so many, I gotta go take a naps. Maybe.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, I know. My husband's always like, why are you always so tired? Well, even when you're not on a ton of medication because you've managed to cut down, you're still tired. It happens. Nora,
Hello.
whatever.
I was
Right?
just telling my mom today that hey, my dose just went up on Excopery, so I'm going to be getting more tired. And in 2 weeks, it goes up again.
Lufa and Sailor Mom, you guys are the newest, and I didn't. Oh, and Tom, you're here. Oh no, Tom,
Yeah,
I
wait,
asked you.
where's Lufa?
Hello,
Oh,
I'm here.
I think you accepted my invitation
For what?
for
Where?
Zoom.
For
Is that
what?
correct? For
What?
Zoom to come on to this
Like
support group.
who invited you for the first time to come and join us?
I believe it was Tom. I believe he
Yeah.
did send me a
Kiki?
message. Yes, I think I was added to the Epilepsy Universe thing, and then I joined the first time. I think this is my third meeting.
Okay.
The second one I left really early because I had a seizure the night before, which was the day of the move, and I was really trying to hold on for y'all, but I just could not, and I ended up passing out for the rest
No,
of the
it's highly
day.
understand.
So I
That's what
figured y'all
happens.
would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
No, I joined earlier, but I was at the pool and then we left and we just stopped and I think I'm getting a
Well, that's
gym
good. It's good to
membership.
have you with us.
Yes. Very excited. Very excited. I was actually gonna say something about the having being seizure free and then having a seizure after. I wasn't 10 years free of seizures, but I was 2-3 months seizure free of like a tonic-clonic seizure. And I mean, usually I go like 2-3 months and I have one again, but I was really hoping with like the medication, it would have really held things down, but I still had one, and it honestly, it kind of broke my heart. And now I'm like changing onto Abbreviact, and I just know it's not working the same as the Keppra when it comes to managing my seizures, and I'm really sad about that. So I'm gonna try it out for a little bit, and then if it's not managing it the way that the Keppra was, I'm thinking about going back to the Keppra and then adding on maybe those progesterone tablets and having the vitamin infusions and stuff, so that I can keep my mental health because with the Keppra, that's the really big part, is making sure I have an outlet for my mental health and for the Keppra rage. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So I had a question for you and Sailor Mom. The questions were, how many hours do you need of sleep?
About 7. That's about right. I get about 6 or 7. Wait.
Lufa and Sailor Mom, how many hours of sleep do you need?
Oh, I get 8. I get, think 8 or 9.
I
I feel like
need to, yeah, like I probably should have at least 9 or 10, but
yeah,
that is
probably.
not happening unless I'm,
I need, like, my body needs like probably 12 to 14 if I'm really giving it love. But on a regular day, sometime recently I've been waking up at like 7 and then falling asleep at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. though. But I take naps during the day. But realistically I get about probably 9 hours of sleep. But my mom is really adamant that I get, like, she's very, with this whole moving thing, we've been up late, and once it hits like 12, 1 o'clock, she's like, you have to lay down, all this stuff, even if I try to keep going, because it's just one of those things that never fails to do it.
I'm jealous of anybody who can get 8 hours. Oh, you're all lucky.
I usually go to sleep about, what do you say, Tracy, 10 o'clock? I usually sleep around 10 and get up at 7.
that's beautiful.
I'm
Right.
getting 9.
If-
Tom over
if-
here getting 9 hours.
I fall asleep when the sun rises sometimes. Sometime between 2:30 and 7, maybe. And then I'm definitely up usually between noon and 2. But golly, that's not very much sleep. But I never did get very much sleep, y'all. I don't know. I think maybe that had something to do with my problem all along. Anyway, sorry.
I think I got 5 last night.
Oh, and I'm working again too. So
I was trying to sleep a full night last night. Then the lightning decided to strike real close, and it was really loud. And
Oh
that
yeah,
woke
you're
me
back
up.
in Pennsylvania. Right. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom's house was getting lit up with lightning storms.
We had them too, even though I'm on the opposite coast. And it was so exciting because, like, in 20 years, we had like 3 thunderstorms. And we lived in Florida for 2 years. And the best part about living in Florida was the lightning storms for me. Like, I don't know, something about it. Anyway.
I liked Arizona for lightning storms.
And then 20 years, we had 3. It was just like, come on. We've been up here, already had 3. in 6 months. Yay! Anyway, I'll again. Sorry, guys. Oh, but I did want to say for Lufa, when you were talking about your progesterone and all of that, originally, that was one of the things that not my epileptologist, but my gynecologist said was like, oh, I think you are going into perimenopause and your hormones are a little messed up. And so that's probably causing some of your threshold lowering, and then it's triggering it like a catamenial kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so she did put me on birth control pills, which sounds insane because I have my tubes tied. But yeah. And that kind of helped for a while, but then I think I really am I don't need them anymore. I'm going to have seizures no matter what. So, but you're young, and that could seriously help.
Well,
because it did for a couple years.
Yeah, my thing with the only reason, because I have birth control already. I have the Mirena IUD, which lasts until I'm 30, and I love it. It works perfectly. It has worked fabulous, like no problems with it, unless getting it put in was the most dramatic thing ever. But ever since that, the lifespan makes up for it, kind of. But when I started the Keppra, that's when it started to like not work, and I was like, what's going on? Because like we have another until I'm 30. This should last until I'm 30 if it's been correctly, if everything's working correctly. And part of the reason I got it was because my periods are so bad, it feels like I have contractions and I have to stay home. Or we have this joke where it's like period Olivia, and I just like, it's so like my mental is so not there. It's really, really bad. And the gynecologist said, she was like, the Keppra is probably eating up some of the hormones, and so that's why I was put on it, except I'm changing to Breviac now, so I don't need to be on the extra progesterone if I'm changing to the Breviac right now, because it's going to lower my threshold. So it's like this really weird balancing game, but if I go back to the Keppra,
Sailor Mom, you're muted.
I'll try the progesterone, really try it and see how it works. Because it will lower the only reason I was doing it though was because of being on the Keppra, but since I'm not on the Keppra, we don't want to continue with the extra birth control. Sorry, my grandpa just got home. We're good though.
I don't think you can get anything to get me back on Keppra.
Yeah, see, I was on Keppra when they originally started the whatever, the unnecessary but extra. Like that was the only way they could get the insurance to cover it, even though I have my tubes tied. Don't ask me. But anyway, yeah. So
well, I was actually, my mom and I have for a really long time, we've been talking about me getting whichever one with the contrast dye, because that's the one she couldn't do. So that I don't go into menopause prematurely, but that it stops my periods and stops me from, things like that, because I don't plan on having children. I don't want to have children. It's been 20 years and my mind has never changed. I just know it's good for me. I don't need anyone to change my mind. I hate when people try to do that. It's so annoying. But it's one of those things that I might have to just wait out though, because they're like, well, you don't know, you're young, and I understand that, but in my circumstance, for me, like, it would be so beneficial. It would be so beneficial in so many ways as a female to just like get it out of there. Just stop, please. Just because it's, but you know, as a female, it's.
I so feel.
I
for
know you do. You
females.
and your ovaries. I know.
Mine are horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can see it. I can see you're
Honey,
having a
I
tough
feel
day.
for you.
Thank you.
All
Well-
you females.
Well, I don't wanna
Guys will
say-
never
My wife as
understand.
well.
Ladies will never understand what it's like to get kicked in the balls. Come on.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, we have no idea.
Let's
Oh,
not
man.
even go there.
Oh no,
I
don't
understand
go.
the
Don't
females.
go there. I
too.
mean, like that. I mean, like that. I mean,
Please
like
don't say
that is true.
actually, though, my younger brother got that, and he actually almost lost them because he got that thing with the testicular torsion, and he didn't want to admit how bad it was, and yeah, he had like 1/4 of blood flow to 1 left when they got in there to do the surgery. I know.
Well,
He had a
Pretty
daughter,
sure
so I guess
kicked
he's
in the balls
okay.
for 10 years. Jesus.
But I felt bad for them child. He was like
I-
13, man.
That probably
I have to
would've
go
happened.
again, guys.
Oh,
My
bye,
apologies.
Loofah. I'm
My
sorry.
grandfather wants to eat.
Okay.
It's time to eat as a family.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
ma'am. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
one. Bye.
See you guys later.
Well, this was a hell of a time to tune back in.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry,
know,
Katie.
I'm
This was a
glad-
hell of
Great
a
to see you
conversation
again,
we just
Kate.
had here. I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah, Lu-
Sorry,
Lufa
guys. I
started
had
a
to
good
actually wait for the
conversation.
fire truck to leave.
Oh. Oh, I almost burned my house down today. So, hey, what's your story?
Why are we all like? All right, talk about worst day ever.
fathers could never.
Rental car, 24 Jeep, testing it out to see if this is the one that we can definitely make our forever car. And I locked the keys in. Right there on the passenger seat. Daughter
Car
won't
for
ever
your
let me
trip
forget it.
around the USA.
Dog was in the vehicle. And Enterprise is closed. It was like 6 o'clock that in Eastern time, so they were long closed. Jeep told me that Enterprise never hooked up the service, and this was when 911 had already pulled up. 911 said, all right, well, before we start breaking windows, the fire department's usually better with this kind of thing, so they came around the corner. I've never been so happy for like a overcast, like rainy, just shitty day. But that car would have gotten hotter faster if it was like bright and sunny. So
Yeah.
they went ahead and jimmied something in the window.
Jimmy.
The one
I was
one of
gonna
the-
say, did they use?
one
My
of the
dad
doors
taught me
went-
to use one of those, and we used to all have one in our trunks, just in
But
case
what
our
is the
friends
point
did
of
that.
these vehicles being
Slim
hundreds
Jim.
of
A
thousands of
Slim Jim,
dollars?
thank you. Yes.
They want like $100,000 for this car, and unless you pay another subscription to hook up that remote remote open, whatever they call it, like this is just blowing my mind. What a business this did. Oh, never, not about the customer ever.
We bought a
Puppy's okay?
new VW Atlas several years ago. And it was the worst lemon in the whole universe. And finally, as we're complaining about how bad it is and everything, they're blaming us. They all got like, what the hell is it when they recall them? Yes, they recalled all of them. And we were like, give us back the money, y'all. What the hell? We dealt with this for years, and y'all kept charging us to fix shit we didn't break. Hate it. I don't think we'll ever buy a new car again. Just, I just don't think it. My husband can fix cars, so whatever.
Hey,
Oh, like I got this. Oh, your phone's on. Oh
Go
yes,
ahead.
like I got this. Yeah, so like I got like a 2014 Toyota Corolla for my birthday, and I got I got the car keys for it, and I was driving. I remember when I stopped, like there was no car tag and no registration. I wasn't I wasn't drunk, but like I was like but like I was like speed chasing, like driving like at least like 70 miles per hour, like on the highway. And then like the cop tried to stop me. And then the cop tried to stop me and basically I mean like I was freaking out. So man, I was freaking out, literally like just not even knowing what happened. But so I speed I turned and I turned and I just I almost crashed a new car.
Wow. Okay, the opening question was, I forgot. Does anybody remember that question?
Heard that one before.
The icebreaker question?
Yeah,
How do you cope?
there was another one.
Oh, you asked Sailor Mom and Tom, I think.
Many hours you sleep or something.
How many hours do you need
That's
sleep?
what it was.
7.
Angel, where did you get that memory from? I need one of those.
Yeah, for me it's 7.
Mm.
Like I
I
can do
guess
a
it's 9.
I could do like an 18-hour day with 7 hours sleep.
Mine
only reason I
is, of
remembered
course,
it-
that's from working. That's the only reason I can sleep that much.
Also,
The only
also
reason
Kate, I think you mean a 17-hour day off of 7 hours
No.
sleep. Those numbers don't add up.
No.
You had to
Who,
call me
me?
out on that. You had to call
Oh.
me out. It is summer. We're not allowed to do math, remember? Not until August 20th do any addition problems have to make sense.
Oh,
So
did I tell you when I was at? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Please,
Go ahead,
please
Tom.
change the subject, please.
Well, Matt, I had a seizure at work, and the EMT Tracy was out in the parking lot, and they called Tracy into their office. I had a seizure. The EMT comes, and she's asking me math problems to see whether or not I was coherent enough, whether or not they were going to take me to the hospital. And Tracy says, he just had a seizure, and you're going to ask him to do math problems?
That's why do you know what month or year or city questions are the better ones,
The
to
president.
ask.
don't
They ask you
ask
who's the
me
president.
math problems even
Or
when
who's
And
the
I give
president?
away samples. It's not as like I do I'm not making change or anything.
Yeah. Who's the president is a good one, because like you can
Oh,
go back
that
in
was
time.
one. That was one.
Well,
That
so
was one.
but right now we've got the swap in between, so you could say Trump, and it's like, oh, but what year
I
do
don't
you
know
think?
that name. I don't even know that name.
That's
I'm
tricky.
sorry.
Yeah, we don't talk about him like it. Yeah,
I don't even know
I
that
was going
name.
to say Musk.
I just call all of them
I
trumpet players.
don't know that name. It doesn't come out of my mouth. I'm sorry. I'm not I'm neutral.
Wait, I
There
thought
you go.
Kanye West was the president.
He said he wanted to be, but we're
No,
gonna move forward.
You're thinking of Elon
Wasn't
Musk.
it Elon Musk?
So Kanye said he was
thank
gonna
you,
be
Mark.
president. Kanye said 2024 he's gonna be president. It's too late now, but yeah, it's 2025. But the question, the other question, the icebreaker was, how do you cope, Kate? How do you cope?
I answered that question on
Oh yeah, you answered it in the
this one
message
here.
earlier.
Yeah, on one day ago it says I posted it. Okay, instead of looking for it now, I guess just gonna be remembering how, how to not focus on the negative and, what can I learn from this? How should I move forward? Right now, I know I'm like in my daughter's debt for a long time because she was dealing with low bro after the meltdown that I had to log off on the way home for. And we get home and she totally handled that situation, got him occupied, and showed him some more of his decorations that are still up from the 4-year-old birthday party last night. And yeah, during a seizure, kind of same coping strategies. Just what else can I think about other than like what happened just now? Because I can't really remember any specifics anyway. So unless there's like an injury that needs tended to immediately, I just think about basically how this could have been worse.
Good things.
Yeah, not like the best way to end it, but just trying to keep it more on the positive than the negative side is pretty much how I cope.
I had a question about that. Like, when was the seizure? Before or after the keys? Or do you think the keys left in the car was maybe because you were gonna have a seizure? I think of like the time that I was out of it. Like I said, I woke up one day, I was kind of out of it, and later on, I actually had the TC. So I was wondering, is it like that? Like you were just kind of laid back, and then
All right. Well, I can't let the family hear now, but I took my meds 2 hours late. I've been off the clobazam now for 6 days, and I don't think I had a seizure during the meltdown, the ride home, the day at the mall, and anything today. I don't think I had any seizures, and that's exactly what I'm just going to be, praising God and like reminding myself of what to do from now on, so I don't forget my meds again. Because if they call me out on, taking meds late and then I do have one, I got to hear about that for a couple days at least.
Take your
you're gonna hear from
So
me.
far
nasalium
today,
with
no
you.
seizure. What's that?
I said take your nasalium with you.
Oh yeah, puppy had that. She got the nasal am in the service dog vest, but at this time she was locked in the car. So I'm over here preaching to Enterprise. This is not just an animal's life at risk. I have epilepsy medication in there, and without that, if I tried to throw that in there, and they still told us 90 minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah. Sorry,
Well,
long
you're gonna
story
hear
short.
it from me. You take them meds.
Yes, I took my medicine.
Oh,
Thank you for checking.
2 hours late. You have to hear it from me, not the family. KKK. Oh my.
That's my girl.
You ever heard somebody say, "What are you thinking?"
Oh yeah, at the stylist all the time, salon. That's where I
Okay.
hear that one a lot.
So I got one here, and it says, "How can I best support my epileptic partner? My fiance has epilepsy since he was a kid. He was seizure free for a long stretch of time, about 8 years. However, last year he had several seizures. From my observations, they were due to stress. Fired twice, relationship stuff, miscarriage, premature birth, and not enough eating and drinking too much caffeine. He doesn't like to talk much about his seizures at all, but I know he hates them. I want to help him, but I don't know how. How would you want your partner to support you? Any advice is really appreciated." Um, there was some ones earlier about supporting them when they had a seizure, but this one is much different. This is support as the person is there and conscious them.
Well, since it's him having the seizures, I would think he just wants to not, make sure that he knows he's not being judged, that you accept him with the epilepsy as, you love the whole package, epilepsy included.
And he is no less of a man
There you
for
go.
having it. You respect him completely, and it doesn't make him weak. Maybe.
That's what I've noticed about my relationship that I'm in right now. Because we've been dating for almost a year, and it was my first relationship after being diagnosed. And for the most part, it would be like cut and run the second they heard epilepsy, sort of situation. With my partner now, it's like, I know that she loves me for me because she knew I had it, going in, and she's been there for me every time we've had a problem, or I've had a no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think reinforcement, and also just never hold it against them. Never hold it over their head. That one time I saved your life, you know, how many times I, you know, yeah, don't bring it up as some kind of leverage. Don't try to use it for leverage. That's the only other thing.
Don't even do that for girls, guys. Don't do that for it.
Oh
Don't
no,
hold it over.
I'm
Don't do that for
pulling
your
this
mom. Don't do that for your
Don't do
brother.
that for
Don't hold it
anyone.
over them. Cause
this
like
is
we're
coming
already
directly
like
from
all
the ex-husband's
full of
playbook.
shame and full of freaking like we're
That's
burdens and shit like
toxic.
that. Don't. It's so much worse. Sorry, I'll be quiet now.
Okay, so there's the thing, like you said, she said he doesn't like talking about it, but she wants to get an understanding for it. But if you want to get it from him, I'd suggest like asking him to like teach you more about it, or what could I do, or how do I
There you
go
go.
about this, and instead of just we're gonna have a conversation about it, because I don't like conversations about my epilepsy. But if you wanted me to tell you some things or how to do things about this, then I can do that. But
Ask me questions,
It's like
straightforward questions.
right. It's like asking what their favorite band is or what their favorite childhood memory is.
Right.
You know, describe something to me that I care about you
Not
and I
break,
want to
not, hey,
hear.
let's,
Maybe.
now why don't you break this down to me?
Something.
Learn me about this.
Yeah. And if he still doesn't want to talk about it, you can research online. You can join our group and just read the
Hey,
posts
there you
and stuff.
go.
I was
Hey,
There
gonna
there's
you
all
say
kinds of
go.
stuff.
Whip
I was
bang
gonna say
boom.
offer a solution by
Come
sending
to
them
Epilepsy
like
Universe.
sort of to us, you know, like we're here to talk. And if
This is
that
what we
helps you,
do.
if that helps you open up about it in general, you know, that's just better for everybody, because then his partner, you know, gets the reward of having an open conversation. And maybe they're just confused, you know, maybe he just doesn't really understand his epilepsy either. And well, wait, was it since he was a kid?
yeah, and it's also her
Oh,
fiance. She just wants to know more, but he doesn't want to talk about it.
oh,
So
my
I
bad.
suggest
I've been living with epilepsy since the 1500s. He'll be good. He can tell you about everything about epilepsy.
Well, back then they thought that, you know, we were being possessed.
You can go all the way
yeah,
back to the Greeks where, you know, the women were actually channeling all of the gods' messages for their
Yep.
epilepsy.
We were like a beacon for the gods.
Yeah, exactly. Like totally we're getting those messages and telling everybody about them.
And it's just madness to us
Breathing the volcanic
because
fumes.
we don't remember what we said.
so oh man, I forgot what it was. But the thing about feeling like less of a man, that part, it gets that rough. If some of you guys don't know, some of you guys like it felt like it was just peeing at the wrong times, like pee in your car and in your room and at your parents' house. Like seizures, they happened at the worst time, and those times I kind of did feel like less of a man, even though she was kind of cool about it, and she kind of, it's all right, you had a seizure, um, this and this, meet me at the hospital. But yeah, that feeling like less of a man, that's hard. Um, yeah, especially when you pee in someone's car. And
I think that's probably the hardest thing that I could imagine that a guy would go through and that you would have trouble communicating with him about and making him feel better about. But I don't really know. I mean, they all are guys, but that would be what I, as a woman, would be concerned about was maintaining that for you.
So overall, open communication. I mean, he has to be just as willing as her. If he really doesn't want to, be open about it, about maybe, what are your triggers? She could approach him from the perspective of, I've been looking into this because I want you to understand that I'm accepting and willing and, want to support you. So have you ever talked to your neurologist about, something like that?
Katie, that was a very good point about the triggers. Because what an easy way, positive, supportive way to break the ice. That way, and once he's comfortable with just talking about that, it's breaking the ice. That's the hard thing, right? So if you find a way, something as easy as that to break the ice, good
Yeah.
job.
Get them comfortable. Give them a piece of cheesecake or something,
And I make
Also-
blueberry ice cream.
Only you, Angel.
Also want to recommend, so I got this a while back. It's an epilepsy journal, and it's just to help track your seizures, but it gives you a list of things to mark off and note sections, for like when it was, why you think it was, what your situation was beforehand. And if they wanted to get their fiance this, to keep track, it's a book that would be left around. They can go through and look themselves. I don't want to be like, that's prying, but it's good for the person that you're living with to know your situation. And it would at least give that person or the fiance a little independence in like, okay, I will talk about it, but to myself, sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea of leaving it around, but also that she can at least record for him the times that it happens, because that's so often for me. I have literally no idea. Come on, I'm like, what the? My husband
kept a journal.
always has to record it on the phone or whatever, because I'm not there for so long afterwards. Like,
That's the
I never
routine
kept a
here.
journal because I couldn't. It was
Yeah.
me. How do you keep a journal when
Oh.
you don't know when it
Well,
happened, how long it
so-
lasted, what
so
kind of
it's-
seizure it was?
Make a call or send a message. That's how we get the timestamps.
So it's like it gives you like a spot to record like all your medication, what changed there, and then questions that you want to ask, just like a little, this is an actual journal part, but then further on, it does actually give you like the log.
Okay, dinner's ready. Dinner's ready. I'm being tagged here.
Enjoy.
bye,
See that?
Tom. Enjoy dinner.
Bye, Tom.
Later,
All
enjoy.
right, bye-bye.
Your wife.
Bye, wife.
And honestly, like obviously you don't have to fill out every portion, but at least having this to be able to bring to your neurologist or epileptologist would be good as well for any information that you
I mean, Dad,
have.
she could at least record the time or how long for him, even if she says nothing else, or even just describes what he looked like when it happened. I mean, that's, or even writes down how long it took him to be conscious in the post-ictal phase or whatever. Even that, a little amount of information that he wouldn't be able to record himself necessarily.
Make them feel more
That's
supported.
really, really sweet. That's a nice idea. I really like that. Go, Brandon.
Also, there's a whole,
Brandon.
all the like reasons for like having a seizure that are listed too. It's like possible triggers, time of day, missed or late medication, missed or poor sleep, alcohol, mood change, missed meal. There's like so many things. And then also the what happened after, like during your recovery period. There's a bunch of things you can check off for that. And not having to write it is good. You can look down and just be like, oh yeah, I guess I can't feel my foot right now. Numbness.
Yeah, I've read that studies have shown that the the act of physically writing information onto paper helps to crystallize the memory in the brain.
Yeah, that's why
It's kind
kids
of,
in school can't remember anything now because they're all using Chromebooks. Sorry, I'm saying this as
yeah.
someone who works in schools. I'm sorry. They don't write
And
anything.
nobody's
They
getting
just type
taught
everything.
cursive anymore. I think that's kind of a shame. Not
The
that it's
pen pal club
particularly.
it was like a must when I heard about that. Daughters Online never went back after COVID, and pen pal club was supposed, I thought it was like a godsend, and both of them wrote one letter and exchanged numbers. Like I get the idea, but it's really, really difficult to get children to write.
Yeah. They're like, oh, my hand hurts. It's like, well, yeah, because we have to work those muscles and you just don't want to work those muscles. Same with our brains. We have to work our brains, even if we don't want to work our brains.
Uh,
And
ow, my brain
you'll say you
hurts.
need like a new one of these to
Yeah.
like work your hand muscles.
Well,
Has anyone disconnected their shoulder during a seizure?
Yes, yes, yes. It was actually in this very room.
it's a good memories.
Right.
Well, I knew I was living with my mom, so and this was always my room. So
Oh, you have your height on the wall and the little door frame.
nah, we got this house when I think when we moved when I started high school. So
Still plenty of time for good memories. That's cool.
Have you
but
grown any
yeah,
more after high school?
no, no. I don't think I've grown more since I started taking pills. I've been 6 foot since I started taking pills.
At least you're 6 foot. I'm
That's
5'9", man.
that's
Come on.
yeah. 6 foot's not a bad place to stop
It's
growing.
not a good like, oh no moment. You're 6 foot. Relax.
Right.
Yeah,
But
it's good,
could you
man.
imagine
Seriously.
what a 13-year-old boy would actually how tall a 13-year-old boy would actually be if he did not take the pill? Yeah,
Can
I'll probably be
imagine.
like 6'5".
Yeah, but then you got to go to special stores to get your clothes. 6 foot.
Yeah.
You're perfect, man. You're good.
Yeah.
And just to add on to those like circumstances surrounding seizures and events like that, I'm just thinking now that seizure wasn't involved today, but fire truck pulled away, and I hear Nana tell me just now that now Low Man says he wants to be a fireman. So another reinforcer for situations surrounding epilepsy that just feel like insurmountable and worst timing ever and all that. Like I still want to be the believer of like there's a reason for everything, and things like that that can probably help others overcome looking back that something good happened.
The reason I asked about the shoulder thing is because there's one here and it says advice on shoulder pain if you take it out of socket while asleep. Okay, it does say, I'm not sure if I was asleep. I'm not sure if I had a seizure, but I woke up and my shoulder was dislocated. I am sure I am not here alone. I was diagnosed at 17, and after a countless number of seizures over the last 15 years, my right shoulder is in a fair amount of pain, and a lot of the time, nobody will do surgery on it because my seizures are not controlled. Understandable. What if I had one during recovery? A complete disaster. Any physical therapy I have done typically gets reset to zero after a seizure or two. My question is it because I hit the ground so hard while I was tensing up? Or Is that something that just happens when you have a seizure? Anyone here gotten kind of a shot in their shoulder to help with the pain before?
Yes, it was morphine. It was a dislocated shoulder, and they had to pop the shoulder back in. It could have been a numerous amount of things. For me, I think I'm trying to remember. I might have had a nocturnal and threw myself off the bed, and somehow I got caught up in something which knocked my shoulder out. But usually it won't come out on its own, I think. That's the only I'm trying to figure out. I think
So did they tell you if ligaments or nerves, how extreme this dislocation was?
no, I don't remember. This was like years ago, but I
Okay.
remember.
The fact that it hasn't happened again is actually impressive because once it
Yeah,
happens, it's easier for it to dislocate again. You know,
yeah,
Yeah, so it
it
sounds like this
hasn't
person
happened
just
again.
needs to listen to their,
Yeah.
this can be such like an individual case. They just definitely need to follow the advice of the physical therapist or whoever is actually managing their care now.
I mean,
This is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was also going to say this is why they say don't restrain somebody,
Right. Right.
with
Right.
epilepsy, because stuff like this can happen, dislocated shoulder or broken
Hmm.
hands or whatever, fingers.
I used to dislocate my one hip when I was pregnant with my twins a lot. And I know that sounds like what the heck, but it happens a lot when you're pregnant with twins. All your joints get all like gushy and they just so anyway, and I weighed like twice of my body weight, so my skeleton was like, forget that. Anyway, so I got in the habit of jamming my hip bone back in to socket on the couch so I could keep walking around and doing stuff because I'm a psycho. Anyway, that particular injury has come back to haunt me. Yeah, well, not just with subsequent pregnancies, but now that I have the epilepsy, it has happened where I've woken up and I'm like, oh, my hip is not where it should be. The ball needs to go back in. Oh no, I need a soft surface. Yeah, I imagine it's perhaps you hurt your shoulder once, either having a seizure or doing something else, and just your body just goes, oh, that's an easy slip. And so it just does it, I'm sorry, it sucks, but that's what I would assume is happening. And no, I don't have any particular help other than take vitamins, because all the seizure medications just drag all the vitamins out of you, calcium and like collagen and like B12s and D. D is very important. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
Also,
Sorry.
I wanted to just add on to the calcium thing. So yes, you want to improve bone density and stuff. Don't do it through milk. People always think milk is the best source of calcium. It like basically oxygenates your bones at the same time. I think that's what it was. But it actually is not good for your bones. Just
No, I take calcium mixture from Kirkland. And I don't like milk. So
right there with you go. Been
fortunately.
vegan for 10 years.
They make many kinds of milk. You don't have to drink cow's milk. You can drink
When I was
almond
pregnant, I
milk,
always had
No, I
soy
know.
milk.
soy milk.
Always
Sorry,
had soy milk when I was pregnant.
when I said milk, I meant dairy milk, like cow's milk. Because as I threw out there, I've been vegan for 10 years and I've never had any sort of calcium deficiency because I do like take supplements and drink other types of milk. But yeah, that's the difference. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of calcium fortified on the shelves.
How do you eat Oreos?
What was that?
How do you eat Oreos without like milk? It's like
Well, you just use any other type of milk.
Yeah.
Almond milk is good.
are they?
I'm an oat milk fan, but
I've never
Almond
tried
milk is
them. Are they like actually milk-like, or is it just this weird? I don't know. I'm kind
no,
of
it is milk-like.
afraid to try them. It is.
Yeah, give it a try sometime. You won't
Yeah.
regret it. Trust me. You
Oh,
might not go back.
Might not go back.
Yeah,
You never know
my
until you try.
one of my kids made rice milk here at home the other week, so
Everything's
That's a
expensive
good
anyway.
skill.
I know, right? I was
Yeah.
impressed.
Absolutely. So didn't we have somebody visit a couple days ago or something saying that about eyelids twitching? Because I saw something on here about another one of these like scholarly articles saying that that's really important to note because if you feel your eyelid twitching and you're still conscious, you don't know if it's an absence or what it was. I think that's what the post said was was somebody who was just having these weird symptoms and somebody else out of nowhere suggested that it might actually be a seizure, but they were
I
aware through the
think
whole thing, so
M
they
was saying
automatically
that.
wrote it off. And it sounds like that could be really important because it could indicate what area of the brain is the focal point. Because apparently the occipital lobe is what controls eyelids, muscles, and that's one of the really important reasons to make note of maybe
What
how
happens
it
with my right
starts.
eye? Yeah.
Yeah, I think M was saying that because I was asking her in DMs, like how does she detect her absent seizures?
On the last question, the person asked, "How'd you get how'd you get the shoulder out of place from the seizure or the fall?"
I think it was this. I think it was most likely definitely a seizure because I'm remembering I woke up and I just like was on the floor and I just got back into the bed and fell asleep some more. And then I woke up again, went to the mirror and saw, oh, that thing is dangling down.
The thing with Brandon, where'd you go?
Yeah. Like that doesn't look right.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
ask
know?
when you told Mark about going back, he'll never go back. I was like, yeah. Once I left regular milk, I went to almond milk, and I never went back, and I never noticed the difference. I don't think my kids notice either.
Yeah.
Sucks milk.
what
It's
was
so
which
easy
one
to
was it that you switched
taste
to? Almond
milk.
milk or
Almond milk is good,
Tastes are so
but
easy to change
and it
and
comes in
adapt to.
vanilla.
Like,
Oat
yeah,
milk
and
is better for
once
the
you leave
environment.
that and you not only feel better, but you wouldn't remember what it tastes like. I had so many like what are they called? Like Cuban sandwiches growing up. I don't know what any red meat tastes like anymore and wouldn't even miss it.
Yeah.
They don't. After you like actually change your diet and don't eat something for long enough, you won't miss it. Especially with the epilepsy. That's that's kind of a given.
We forget everything.
No? To make it work to our
Yeah.
advantage once in a while.
My
will say-
husband used to run a vegan deli in a little itty bitty town in the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. That
Okay,
sounds
can I-
crazy,
You
right?
are the dream couple. The ice cream cake decorator and the vegan deli guy. Come on, you guys have got to be a movie.
What?
Can
Why
you
can't you
make
guys live in New
vegan
England?
ice
Can we
cream
hang
out
out?
of
Like,
You know,
almond
why you gotta
milk
be in
or oat milk?
California? Leave us on the East Coast, all like.
It was
Call the
like
fire
there was
truck.
like
over there.
four colleges within driving distance and one within walking distance. It's a big university, and so he
That's your
just found
business.
his niche. I don't know. He's amazing.
Can you make ice cream out of the
yes.
almond milk and yeah?
I wasn't even gonna let you finish.
We always had a gelato case that usually had several different kinds of non-dairy ice cream for people who couldn't have dairy. But also the gelatos. We would usually have at least 4 different gelatos at a time that we made in-house. And then we would usually have at least 2, sometimes 4 different milks, like a rice and an almond and a soy, and in different flavors. So
Actually,
Yeah.
How does yours compare to that Talenti?
the what?
You guys have that Talenti gelato? That's like the most popular one over here.
No, we had like mango and lemon.
oh, it's a brand. It's a
and
brand.
Yeah,
We-
Talenti's the brand.
No, this was
mango.
made all in-house, and
I
it's all
bet.
Silberman's ice cream. And it was like real mangoes, like it would take us hours to zest the lemons and juice them and make this stuff, like hours. The ices and the gelatos took the longest to make. It was crazy.
I have I have 2 students in my camp this week. One of whom we have an EpiPen for her because she's actually allergic to dairy, like not lactose intolerant, allergic to dairy.
We had a sign that said, if you were allergic, let us know. And we would take all of this equipment aside. We'd put special
Yeah.
gloves and we'd wash all our equipment before we gave it to them, for sure.
And
Always.
so we have that girl who's allergic to dairy. We have another girl who's lactose intolerant. Another girl who works at her like family's ice cream restaurant in our city. And I asked her, I was like, "Do you guys have any non-dairy flavors?" And she was like, "Yeah, we do." Because my aunt is allergic to dairy. And then the first girl looked, or the other one who is allergic to dairy looked over and went, "They do." And it was just, I'm sure that it made her feel good, knowing like, yeah, you're not alone, girl. You're not alone.
Yeah, at that age, that kind of thing is really sort of,
Yeah, because she's 8.
I mean, not sort of, that is really isolating. I shouldn't qualify something like that. When I say really, like emphasizing it, I should, and then really
It's like how
sort of,
we are, like
yeah, it's,
you can act like it isn't, but it can feel like it is, and people don't necessarily take it seriously. I
yeah,
had never actually heard of anyone being allergic to dairy before. So when her mom told me, I was like, "Oh, like lactose intolerant." And she went, "No, like she needs this EpiPen if like she comes into."
In certain fruit, like strawberries, right? So if it was in the case with the strawberry ice cream, we'd have to get out a half gallon and scoop out of that instead, just to make sure that nothing had fallen in it and touched it. But yeah, be very careful about allergies there. Yeah. And we did not carry any brand. Everything was made in-house. And you could stand there and watch from the window while they made it most of the time, because the machine was right there.
I think Kate was talking more about like the consistency and style of.
I don't know what that flavor is. I'm sorry.
That mango just like I can't comprehend it. A mango is so stringy to get the enough juice out of that to actually flavor a nice serving. That must have taken a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking forward to figuring out too.
when you get a really fresh one, like really, really fresh one, it's a lot easier to get juice out of them. Well, like back,
Oh, they fall off some
um,
trees here in Florida, but they're
yeah,
still
yeah,
like
like right
the
off the
same
tree
consistency.
when they're fully ripe. It's
Yeah, that's true. The hurricanes don't
completely
always come at the right
different
time.
from the what you get in the grocery store thing. So
Yeah.
the closer you are in the supply chain to the actual source.
Yeah, my boss was very particular about everything. And like, I mean, today I was using some vanilla and I thought about it, and I remember the last time that I got a shipment for him, the Madagascar vanilla was $900 for a gallon.
Did you know that
And
the
that was
vanilla
years
bean?
ago.
Have you seen the
Did you,
bear? Are you ordering Orwellian butter?
did you know that the vanilla bean is actually the seed pod of an orchid plant?
Oh yes, we knew very well of like these were it was actual Madagascar vanilla extract.
I
Very,
had an
very
orchid. I
expensive.
tried. I killed an orchid plant last year.
Oh no.
Or not an orchid. I killed a vanilla orchid last year. Um yeah. I didn't kill all the orchids, so um
This one says, "Do I take another dose?" Okay, so I don't remember if I took my seizure medicine this morning. Normally, I have a system set up to prevent that, but I'm in the process of moving and I haven't been as diligent about it. I take 1,250 milligrams of Keppra in the morning and at 9 every morning and 9 at night. I don't feel any different, so I might have taken it. Should I take it possibly again, or do I wait? Currently 10:30 in the morning. My seizures are controlled if I take my medication consistently. I have missed doses in the past and been okay, but I'm kind of freaking out right now. Any advice?
How how much was their dose?
1,250.
Okay. I take 750 milligrams a day. I've had that moment of like, oh shit, but I accidentally have double dosed. And I felt like shit. Um, I would suggest kind of waiting. I would do like a 6 hour wait to see how you're feeling, and then take one, and then make it like an 18 hour, run, and then just get back to normal in the morning. That's usually my approach when that happens. Is like I'll take an early night pill and then just back to normal in the morning.
I guess I'm the only one who panics because I take another one. If I forgot, I don't want to have a seizure, so I just take another one.
I've seized from double dosing. That caused me to seize one time because there was too much medication in my system. So yeah,
That's Keppra for you.
Yeah, maybe it's just
Yeah.
because it was Keppra.
I think so, but hey,
It depends on meds. Like, if you think you already took a benzo, no, don't take another one.
especially if you have anything to do.
Well, not only that, but if you double dose, you can't ever order those medications early.
Yeah.
You can never get an early refill. So if you double dose and you don't have a pharmacist that has one of those nice little sample packs, or the neuro can hook you up somehow, then kind of out of luck.
Oh, no.
Those
Wait, do your guys
controlled substances? Yeah.
maybe wait, is it just because I'm on Keppra? Because like I can go I can have pills left over and still get a refill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kepra's not a controlled
Oh,
substance.
oh,
That's like
oh,
a
okay.
schedule.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
5
Just
or
making sure.
I don't know what to
I was
call it.
really confused. I was like,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah, I
guys
was
in
thinking the clobazam. I've had way worse outcomes taking too much Keppra than not enough. You know, skipping a dose turned out to be not as big of a deal as when I took 2 doses, and it was the opposite with the clobazam.
Yeah.
And it was just more of a headache because there was also the
Yeah,
controlled
you
substance, so
run
I'm
out
already out of
and
it and trying to get it done like when it happens, when I know I'm going to need this refill. It was finally available for refill, and I was already without for 2 days, so yeah, neurologist didn't help at all.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, it also depend like with the benzodiazepines, it depends on the like the early refill depends on the use. Like I'm not on daily. I have clonazepam tablets, but not every single day. So, you know, I've got it as needed. So, you
the
know, I
rescue med.
usually don't, yeah. The tablets, clonazepam tablets, a handful of them each month, and then I have the nasal spray for like the real serious stuff. So if I take it for like for auras. Honestly, I had the clonazepam as a just from my doctor for anxiety, panic attacks before the epilepsy. And then he said since I was using it also for the seizures and not just as an anxiety medication, that I have to get it just from the neurologist. So that was
See,
kind
I
of a
think,
pain, but I have
yeah,
like a dozen of them and I don't use a dozen of them. So if I take a double dose of those, I don't end up short by the end of the month, usually, unless I am having a
yeah, unless
really
you're
rough month.
using it. But yeah, I think like me and Sailor Mom have the clonazepam where we're prescribed to take a certain amount daily, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It
like
doesn't
I have to take
lose
one every night.
effectiveness?
I I don't know. I I've been wanting to get off a little bit, and her husband has uh told her about it, like the dementia that benzos may cause. Um, so mine saved me from clusters. So I don't really know like how we're gonna do it. Right now they got me titrating up the Excopri ladder. So
Mm. I was on clonazepam daily and I wanted to get off. I asked about switching from clonazepam to diazepam because I had read about its use for tapering down with um, alcohol addicts, and because its dosage is so much higher compared to like an equivalent dosage is so much higher. It's like 10 to 1 um, uh, compared to the clonazepam, so it makes it a little bit easier to slowly taper that down. But I don't know how much Xcopri would substitute for clonazepam, and clonazepam is nasty. Like benzodiazepine withdrawals are difficult. Um, So I don't know. I had success doing that. I tried going down on the clonazepam by itself, and it's so powerful, you know, 1 milligram to a half milligram to what? I mean, how can you versus, you know, a 10 milligram tablet and volumetric dosing, you know, dissolve it in some, or they might even have a liquid solution that you could just measure out with a dropper with diazepam. But um, I don't know, just some thoughts for you.
Yeah, there's some good thoughts. Eventually, when I'm done with the excopry and getting off the Vinpap, because the Vinpap's no longer helping me, um, I'm gonna talk to them about that, because they don't want to do too much things at once because it's all affecting the mind.
About the pills. Brandon, you still there? Or we can move on till he comes back. Kate, when you said about the refill things and you can't get a refill or whatever, you guys can't go to the emergency room and get a refill?
I would think last time I was in the emergency room, they just went the Nasalam route. Because if I was in the ER already, it definitely already happened. I think that the last time I did an ER trip was when I was on the something with a B. Maybe it was Briviact, and been on the Keppra forever too. So I was only on 2 meds at that time, and the last time I was in the ER wasn't on the controlled substance. So I haven't been in that situation. But I think they would definitely be more likely to just go the rescue med and get you out the door.
No, because when I run low on pills, I can go and say, I lost my pills, and they'll give me a month's worth.
Probably
Maybe it's
only
just
in
California.
California. That exactly. I think that's part of the perks of living there.
Yeah, there's that part. And then does anybody get like shooting pains? Is it just me getting old, or is it from epilepsy or something? Because I get bad shooting pains like in my hands and my arms. Is it just me? I think I'm getting older than
I
all
did
you.
too.
I don't know. Angel and Keith Kevin are older than me, so you guys get shooting pains, Angel?
Um, I got pains in my hips and stuff, but not in my arms. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember.
back and legs, like
Yeah.
sciatica, I assume, but not. I don't know. Not.
Yeah, I get them in my back
Yes,
too, but
Yeah,
sometimes
back,
arms
my
without
lower
being
back.
explaining with it.
um, Brandon's not back yet.
I don't really get physical pains that much, but I don't get the shooting pains. But
What did you just say? I'm not back. I'm here.
Oh, Brandon, I got one for you. It's actually not a question that's on the list. You told me that you crushed up a pill and put it in water, and it was going good that day. How'd that work out?
Worked out fine. Yeah. Was going good. I didn't really notice a problem. I missed a pill one day though, and uh, I was feeling like crap the next day. But I did notice that um, when I did the like swirling it around and letting it just sort of dissolve in the water, after I took the pill, I felt like the effects hit me faster. It was like my body just didn't, my stomach didn't have to dissolve it first. It was like sort of a, oh shit, sort of rush job situation for my body. Uh, I don't know. I felt better immediately after I took it. So that's all.
Yeah, I was thinking about that after you said that because once upon a time I had some pills in my pocket and I laid on them and they were all crushed into pieces. So I'm putting pieces back to get a full circle pill. And I thought about it. Can I just put these in water? But I didn't know if it would work.
It
Not that I'll
depends
try it
on
again.
it depends on the pill. I googled and like found a couple different sources that said, that Kepra was okay to dissolve in water before I did it. I didn't just go for it because obviously it can affect the potency and everything. Um but oh shit.
Yes, some
My
of them have a time release coating on the outside that relies on staying intact and being dissolved slowly.
yeah,
So if you crush
I
it, it's
wouldn't
kind of
do it.
like the way people go and abuse some forms of Ritalin to
Never with a
bypass that
capsule.
and get the whole dose right away. Um, but
Uh I shit. Fuck, damn it. I had a thought. Oh, I lost it.
sorry
Looked
to
into Kepra, it was
sorry
okay
to
to
jump in.
dissolve. I know it was something about the tablet that you looked into before you went for it.
Don't come to me. Damn it. Sorry.
Does anybody else
Sorry,
get them
folks.
get seizures from fast temperature changes? I see a post here from somebody saying that they had TBI in their youth, caused seizures, and they walked from the kitchen to the living room. So it wasn't even walk-in fridge or anything drastic, but do you guys notice seizures coming from or a trigger being temperature change?
No, I hate the hot, but I don't ever notice
Yeah,
it like changing me.
yeah, I hate big shifts in temperature, but it hasn't caused any problems.
Makes me tired.
Yeah, it looks like a commenter saying that that heat could be a major trigger for a lot of people.
I don't
Yeah,
know about
for me,
temperature change that fast, but definitely a trigger for me.
changes in heat
Definitely
have never
was.
been a problem for me, but uh, like being out in the heat for long periods of time, it's sort of like that dehydration feeling, and I can never tell if it's one or the other. But if you're dehydrated, you're definitely more likely to have a seizure. We can all acknowledge that, I think, right?
Mhm. Also, Brandon, you're the one that suggested B12, and you told me it helps with brain function and all that. Took me a little while to get some, but I got some. Um, well, I've been taking them for about almost 8 weeks, and
Okay, so I hate that you had to mention that I was the one who suggested it and that it improves brain function because you already mentioned that to me. It's okay. It's okay.
so you lied to
But
me.
Isn't there a disclosure at the beginning of every YouTube and every one of these? Like, be
you
prepared. You're gonna hear the same thing a couple times.
you're gonna hear this thing. Yeah. But hey, this is actually good because you're pushing B12 even harder, Like
You
you're really getting
remembered it.
someone missed the
That's
last one.
the improvement in brain function. You remembered it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember you said that and you
it
gave an
works.
explanation, and
It
I was like,
works.
brain function. And I
Yeah.
didn't think anything was wrong with my brain, but I was like, let me try it. Brain function.
Like,
$30
let
is
me just
nothing for
give
some
that a shot.
vitamins. But yeah, B12. Shout out to Nature's Made. I got two. You get buy one, get one free when you get it on Instacart. Um, yeah, so I've been doing that and I haven't had a focal, like seriously. And I feel like I don't have that fatigue that I get every day. I don't take as many naps unless I'm literally not talking to you guys, not on my phone. Um, yeah, I don't get it's hard for me to get tired now. I've noticed the difference in the energy and fatigue, and I told someone else, once you try it, let me know if it's if that helps you because he doesn't need it for focals. He needs it. He was wondering if it gives him energy wise.
Okay.
So we'll see that.
Nature Man, give us free stuff.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I got one here. There's dizziness and seizures. Sorry for the long post. I've gotten slightly dizzy the last few days. Yesterday, though, I was so dizzy the room was spinning. I couldn't even get up because every time I tried, I had a partial seizure. I was awake during it, and I had it, and I thought it was due to dizziness, but my husband told me it looked like a partial seizure, and I was having involuntary movements. I was dizzy for a second. I was dizzy for a while and nauseous and throwing up. I used to get slightly dizzy when I was breastfeeding, but this isn't happening. This hasn't happened for a while. I was also had my period this week, off week for birth control, and I've heard dizziness can be caused by that. I also feel like I have low blood sugar or some kind of iron deficiency. I reached out to my neurologist yesterday and still haven't heard back. I take 600 milligrams of Lamictal, and I don't miss a dose. I'm just really scared it's going to happen again. I have 3 kids under 2, and I need to be able to take care of them. I hadn't had a seizure in about 3 years. I have been very stressed and not sleeping well, so that could be attributed to that. Has this happened to anyone before? Could it just be an issue with blood sugar, hormone, or some kind of deficiency? Is it that simple? Could it have just been a headache yesterday that led to today? Any advice is appreciated. I never had someone like around to tell me those symptoms that she's going through, and she had someone explain it to her.
Well, if
Yeah,
it's the
I get
blood sugar
dizzy.
thing, you would want to just figure out which of the causes is more,
Again?
I don't know,
Yeah.
like most
What do
likely to
they
cause it.
want?
Like which one is
Can I help?
worst?
Okay.
Are you gonna
Yeah,
have
what
to
do they
start
need?
going through treatment for
Okay,
the
that's fine.
diabetes or
Shh, you're
whatever
not
that
talking
issue
about
is? Just kind of figure out which is the most pressing issue that could cause the seizures. But there was definitely a lot going on there.
Yeah, you want to get maybe some blood work done, see what's happening, see if there's anything else besides your seizures. Remember that your medicines also can cause dizziness too and everything. And if you're on a lot of it, you may be on too much and it may be affecting your chemistry. So you may have to tell your neurologist of that.
Birth
But
control
yeah,
is a big trigger for a lot of people, especially with the catamenials. That's definitely one that's going to mess with your hormones if you skip a dose or double dose or something.
I got another one. We've kind of had something similar to this before, but this one is newer. It says, how do I get doctors to take me seriously without being too assertive? For those of you who have heard, for those of you who had trouble getting diagnosed or were not believed by your doctors, what helps you get diagnosed? How can I stand my ground without being too assertive or rude? Has anyone else's seizures when being too assertive? Oh, wait, I got lost. I'll start over. For those of you who have had trouble getting diagnosed or were not believed by your doctors, what helps you get diagnosed? How can I stand my ground without being too assertive or rude? Has anyone else's seizures been missed or misdiagnosed? For those of you who have been diagnosed or misdiagnosed with PNES, what happened? How do you politely correct doctors when they get something about your medical history or symptoms wrong? How do you get doctors to take you seriously? Doctors outside of California suck. No, I'm playing.
As somebody who's been misdiagnosed before for like the last year, with PNES, I didn't even do anything. I just started going into status epilepticus for I think it was like 2 days. But it was kind of like in between. And I got like super injured. I had a head injury. I had raccoon eyes, bit my tongue really bad, peed myself in the hospital. And then they were like, "Oh, I don't think she'd be doing this stuff if it was in her head." And then they decided to go a different route and put me on Keppra. And then now I'm here, diagnosed now by a new neurologist. So yeah, I can't really suggest anything that you could do, but if you have evidence of the things that you've had happen to your body from the seizures, then you can share that, and it helps. The clinical signs do help. Not all doctors take them seriously, but some of them do.
There's a comment here. It says, find a new doctor. It took me 3 different doctors to find one that listened to my concerns. Doctors, especially some specialists, are very arrogant. So yeah, get a second opinion, I suggest, because you don't want to keep going talking to different doctors and stressing yourself out. Because I know talking to them over and over and they don't listen. That shit is stressful. Yeah, maybe it's just me.
Getting a new doctor is like a job interview now.
Right. Go ahead, Mark.
Went in there with a witness, and that seemed to help tremendously, as far as being taken seriously. I'd had tonic-clonics before that, but this one was in my parents' house, and my mother had heard it from across the house and called 911, and the EMTs showed up and saw me convulsing, and then saw it stop and asked me questions until I could walk out to the ambulance myself. But having that to get taken seriously quite a bit, and then about 4 weeks later, 3, 4 weeks later, I had another tonic-clonic, and that time my mother was there and able to record that one, and she showed my neurologist that. So we had those two before I had the successful EMU stay. So my neurologist had seen me in the middle of a tonic-clonic there and knew. I mean, nobody is that good of an actor to imitate like a um, genuine convulsions like that. But yeah, I know it's kind of a luxury or a roll of the dice to have somebody witnessing it and be able to come and attest on your behalf. But getting an advocate, even if they haven't witnessed it, getting an advocate to go with you, and even for moral support, just if for no other reason, because, memory and communication can be kind of difficult sometimes. So my mother still comes with me to every one of my um, appointments with the neurologist, because she, I mean, she's going to be my emergency contact. She's got to know all that. And there's no way that I would be able to relay all of that back to her uh, secondhand. So that's,
You got your go-to.
yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this alone. Um, so, yeah.
You'd be surprised. Never say you can't do something. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
know
they can't
my,
deny it, like you said, they can't deny it eventually if you have the TC in front of a neurologist, or if you're lucky enough to have one on an EEG.
yeah,
But it is tricky to be able to provide undeniable evidence. It never
yeah.
happens at a convenient time.
I gave him two on an EEG. The first one they gave me, it lasted long enough that they gave me the IV midazolam, and then like 40 minutes later, with that midazolam still in my system, I went into another TC that went over 5 minutes, and they gave me another big. So yeah,
Yeah, at least you weren't
they
misdiagnosed right
got
off
them.
the bat. That's the most frustrating
No,
part that we hear from so many people coming on that just didn't even have the right diagnosis to begin with. Were being treated for something completely irrelevant and, if anything, just suffering worse side effects from the medication they didn't even need.
well, I mean, my first MRI was 20 years ago. Um, yeah, I was not diagnosed with the epilepsy for, you know, 20 years. But um,
Oh, you think you were having absence or seizures that whole time?
yeah, well, that was, I don't know. Didn't I, didn't I tell the story earlier? Or,
Probably. I probably
or
just missed it.
did I? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I still have, yeah, they, they gave me my MRI
Yes. Of the
back when
perfect
I was
brain. There you go.
15. Yeah. So, yeah, when I was learning to drive, I had an incident where I was going and I didn't see a pickup truck that was turning, and that freaked my mom out. So, we went in. I did an MRI, sleep deprived myself before an EEG, like a 30-minute EEG. They gave me a full neuropsychological evaluation, and um, that's what led to the Asperger's syndrome diagnosis. Um, but the EEG was clear and the MRI was fine. So I was assured I don't have epilepsy, and but I do have Asperger's, and sent me on my way. And then um, a few years later, I started having weird physical sensations, and um, they gave me um, uh, yeah. After long enough, I started complaining about it. They gave me an MRI again, that one, they didn't give me the picture. I asked for the picture. Again, I wanted to frame it side by side. But anyway, they told me I didn't have epilepsy. Multiple sclerosis. But said it was fibromyalgia and that those weird periodic sensations were just panic attacks. And then I don't know, like around the lockdown, I was living alone, so I don't know what was happening. I know that I definitely had, in retrospect, a few tonic-clonics, waking up on the floor with like that headache inside of a headache type of sensation. And then, yeah, eventually I had a couple in front of a roommate I was living with up in South Dakota. Um, moved back down to Florida, living with my parents, and um, they, yeah, when I had that one in front of my mother, that's when she pushed for um, treating, and that's when I got the official diagnosis in my medical record. Um,
All right,
but
glad to hear you got a good team behind you now.
yeah, yeah,
So a
but
couple hours ago, somebody says my SO told me I'm violent when having seizures. All suggestions welcome. I'm worried about her. I have epilepsy as a result of brain damage I sustained in a car accident. My partner and others have told me that they are scared I'm going to bash them or worse when I disassociate before having a grand mal. This is incredibly shameful to say, but apparently I make threats of self-harm and violence and say a bunch of unsavory things between screaming and falling over and thrashing around in my house. I'm a bigger guy who used to box and trains most days. The last seizure I had left my bathroom looking like a bloodbath. My partner insists on intervening when this is happening so I don't hit my head. She thinks I'm having dissociative episodes which trigger the seizures as a result of some past trauma. He says I don't believe that to be the case, but I'm also not the one who has to witness this. I've asked her to leave me be, take the dogs, lock the door, and wait till I'm done. I love her dearly, but it's selfish to burden her with this. Has anyone had similar experiences? Open to all suggestions. He's saying he's on 400 milligrams of Lamictal a day. I
So
think this guy just, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna assume that he's already diagnosed then with
With the
'cause
medication, I would think he is diagnosed,
yeah.
but the way he's making it sound like he just wants to know what to do about the disassociative, like so much violence before the seizure. But I mean, he needs more insight. I would say, like, I agree with one of these comments that says, like, talk to her about getting it on tape.
Yeah, like I would get cameras or something, set them up and see what's going on and then like show that to your doctor. Because if it is that severe, then that's something that definitely needs to be addressed, not just, pushing your loved one out and away when you need help.
Couldn't have said it better. That was perfect. Don't push her away. She does want to help you. Take the dogs and lock me in the bathroom. No, nobody's going to be cool with that.
I got something here. It says seizure threshold and grad school applications. I haven't had a grand mal in 6 years, but I'm currently applying for doctoral programs and I can feel my threshold lower. I've been taking my ER med every few days and doing other stress management things, but is anyone working a high stress job in grad school? I'm really beginning to wonder if my brain can take it. Anyone on a high stress job? I think Brandon's the only one working.
and I guess it like in comparison to a lot of jobs, my job does seem very stressful. It's like physical, stressful because you're surrounded by kids. Also, the stress of these kids falling over and hurting themselves on a bike. Lots of stuff that has to get taught in a timely manner. Yeah, I could say it's pretty stressful, but I don't know. I love my job, so I don't know, it's whatever.
I
I
mean,
got something.
applying for doctoral programs, they must be passionate about what they're doing. They must really want to follow through. I mean, see the what is it? How's it go? Like light at the end of the rainbow kind of thing to work through it because you know you have something to look forward to. If you do this right, you can get into that program and maybe have a future because a lot of other patients don't even make it this far. So good job on getting through whatever degrees you have already and
And
really
if
yeah.
it's a medical degree, like if they're looking to get a doctorate, like a medical doctorate, PhD, um, it, it's like or MD, sorry, um,
Yeah.
then they would just be a great advocate for other people like us. You know, it's like none of our neurologists have epilepsy, I believe, right? No, I don't. Raise your hand if so. So they try their best, but they don't. Oh, okay. All right, Saya. All right. Or is that just a statement? Or hang on.
Oh
What's
no,
Oh no,
go
I
ahead.
just have something I want to say. It's okay. Finish up.
oh, okay? Yeah. Just saying, like, if they did have epilepsy, some of the stuff that we talk about with them would make a little bit more sense. They hear it secondhand every time. So
I
Even
was
if they
just
didn't hear it
go.
secondhand every time, they wouldn't understand each individual, or they wouldn't understand more than each individual's experience, because I doubt that my experience of, a focal is the same as yours.
this is very true. Yes, you are correct about that. I can't deny that. So
We need some kind of randomizer to like shuffle it up and give them some kind of combination of everybody's little bits of everybody's, and boom, then they've got their own unique seizure to let them understand.
Yeah, I would never wish it on anybody else,
Yeah.
Oh,
especially the induced ones.
Mm.
my Amy has come.
Yeah, the seizures they induce. Pookie, what do you use? Mazani? You like any Mazani hair products?
Uh, more natural than anything in
Okay.
the hair, except water, shampoo.
Did somebody say my name?
Huh?
Yeah, you got your hand up.
Yeah,
Oh
go
yeah.
ahead.
I almost forgot. No, I was just gonna say, Angel reminded me in the chat that, and Kate, you know this, Pookie, you know this, Angel, you know this.
I seen it.
Parenting is one of those jobs. It's not technically a job to me. Like I feel like I'm not allowed to call it a job. And if I say that, I'm gonna like offend somebody, but it is a job. It is a lot. You have to do a lot. And especially as like, as a stay-at-home parent, when you have to clean and cook and watch them and take care of them, and especially when they're young. I have two toddlers, so they're being amazing right now, but normally they are little monsters and it is stressful, and I have had seizures induced at night when I'm trying to put them to bed and everything is absolutely insane and there's too much noise and I'm really hot, and then all of a sudden, boom, seizure. And I've fallen in the bathroom because of that.
And babies crying and waking you up means less sleep.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on the lack of sleep.
Yeah, the mom part is harder than it is being a dad, but I praise you. Happy Mother's Day for every other Mother's Day that I might miss.
Thank you.
Got something that says, "What even is this anymore?" A few months ago, I had an EEG done and it detected the brain waves during what they thought was an absent seizure. Now the neurologist isn't even sure it's the case now. My current neurologist seems to not even want to help anymore, so I'm getting a different one. Any advice or ideas? Couple different opinions. You don't have to listen to one doctor. If you want to, then you can, but sometimes if I think maybe I might be right or maybe that person might be wrong, then I get a second opinion. Even if it's emergency room, somebody's gonna tell me something.
And some doctors give the vibe like they're just not giving you all the information that's important. You don't always know what's the right question to ask until, sometimes something happens and you find out way too late about some kind of medication that interacts with an over-the-counter supplement. And yeah, if a doctor gives a vibe that they just don't like their job and they don't want to help you, then that's all the reason in the world to get another opinion. That's never a bad way to you're getting the right treatment.
Not even just for like epilepsy or brain conditions. My a friend of mine was in a wheelchair for several years because of a back problem that got misdiagnosed, and he's been walking ever since. Like after like 3 years in a wheelchair, uh, they got him walking again, but he is still actually. He told me today he's going to get printouts of his spine, um, so that he can take them and just bring them to new surgeons to get second opinions, because he's had a couple be like, no, no, this isn't right. Like we could have done more, and it wasn't done even after the so yeah, several instances of bad doctors back to back who just didn't deal with the problem appropriately. So yeah, it's doctors across the board need to get their shit together.
I have this thing because I've seen a lot of doctors over the years, ever since I was a little kid. And when you go to a doctor and they make you wait for like an hour for an appointment, because you have your appointment time, you go in and they tell you, oh, well, they're running a little late. Usually that's a good sign to me that they are sitting in there talking with their patient and actually listening, and then I'll go into the appointment and they do the same thing with me. They go past the time that, they're supposed to be allotted. And they listen to everything and you're able to let them know everything that you're concerned about. And that's usually the good doctors. The doctors that suck are the ones that are like, oh, you're late, so we have to charge you $100. And oh, you get there and you go right in and then they kick you right out. So little things like that. Little things like that. And you definitely gotta get a second opinion.
Yeah, that's great insight. That's a good way to look at it. This person is asking, it sounds like probably about absent seizures, because they're saying, how can you guys tell if you've had a seizure in your sleep? Are you more sleepy the next day, bad headaches, or worse brain fog than usual? So I'm thinking, obviously, with the TCs, you got, the bit tongue, the sore muscles, the headache beyond any other headache. But do you guys can you ever tell if you've had an absent seizure in your sleep unless somebody's with you and can tell it's not a dream? So Jeff.
Yeah, Kate, uh, I can tell every time. Uh, you you get the headache the same as any other seizure. You get groggy just like any other seizure, or foggy, and confused. Maybe not as bad as some of the others, but it's still the same, just on a less severe scale. Finally, something I can comment on.
Hey, if you have any stories, sounds like a pretty crazy night for a lot of us.
Yeah, one time I had one. Most recently, we talked about that. I went to the doctor and they were just like, "You don't have any signs." They did the whatever head scans there were, CT, MRI, all those good stuff. And then they was like, "Your mouth isn't chewed up. You just said you got a headache." They were like, "Was there blood? Your nose bleed, anything?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't have anything. Just woke up with the headache, and this headache is a one of a kind headache." They didn't want to take that. They were just like, "No, you didn't have a seizure. You can go home. Done when we can." Yeah. Go ahead, Brandon.
This is not a story, but has anybody checked or seen the news today?
No. Talk about it.
17 million
Yes.
people to lose health coverage because of Trump's big, beautiful bill. So watch out, all of us, because we absolutely need our health insurance. Fuck.
I'm very, very disappointed in that. I saw that as well.
Brandon, that's not the worst part. I mean, he can cancel elections. He can jail so-called enemies of the party. I mean,
I know. It was just it just happened today, so it was, and it
Yeah.
healthcare related. I know there's so much shit, but I just felt
Yeah.
like wanted to make sure everyone here knew, despite
Before
how
I look it up, do they get any more specific about whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, or like
slash
income
Medicaid
based?
funding, phases out ACA subsidies, imposes new work requirements on both Medicaid and SNAP recipients. Yeah.
So
It's all
they
the
might
poor
want
people that are affected.
they
Huh?
might want
Yeah.
the neuro well, I'm thinking they might want the neurologist to, give more proof more often
That's a
that,
good.
well, I guess they're gonna have to start giving me my data.
I gotta
I
check
mean,
my
I got no problem
information
proving it.
because that instantly gave me a migraine. I gotta go get new pills.
Yep.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I was gonna ask that, like, since the prescription was wrote a while back, are my refills already covered?
Go.
No.
I feel like here's what you do. You go to the pharmacy with the Good RX app. You find the pharmacy that or whichever one has the refill, information. You just go in with the Good RX app if you ever need health insurance, or don't have health insurance, and pay the $10 for the Good RX Gold. For anybody who needs this info, $10 for Good RX Gold, you will end up saving like over $100 sometimes on your pills. So it is worth that $10. And you don't even need it to use it, but it just makes it a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, last time I didn't fill out my health and my insurance information on time. The thing elapsed or whatever. And I think my pills were only $65 for 90 days worth. But still, now if it's nothing at all, I'm gonna go get that checked out. I might go to the emergency room just to see if that's still going.
I wanted to add about the bill thing. It's going to be a problem with paperwork. They're really going to kick people off Medicaid by just making the paperwork overwhelmingly complicated. That's going to be a huge problem for people with disabilities, and
Vacation
based it all off the Georgia health plan, and that was everyone's main issue. Was so many people got kicked off because they were like, I can't take off work to go get, my information from my doctor once a month because that's just not feasible. So I lost my job and healthcare, and now I can't get healthcare because I don't have a job.
Right.
It actually, anybody who hasn't seen the latest Last Week Tonight, check it out if you want any more info, if you're confused.
Okay.
We got caught up doing other stuff.
So I know seizures, relationships have been kind of a theme tonight. It looks like somebody else said, please help. I was in a relationship. I ended up in the hospital because of a really bad seizure. He told me it was my fault and I was trying to ruin his. Hold up. You said ruin his fun before. You read this one?
I think
Anyway.
so.
They're saying we broke up. Want to feel like I'll never find love or well, there's more people here now. I just want to feel love like I'll never find love or someone who can put up with my seizures. I constantly feel like a burden to others. I know I'm only 22, but I feel like I'll never find that unconditional support that I crave so bad.
I believe I
Yeah,
read something
I guess
similar to that.
I guess I could see how that's easy to feel at 22, especially.
That's what I was gonna say. At 22, it's very easy to feel that way. Even if you don't have, a debilitating, mental illness sort of thing.
A burden thing, just being so embarrassed. Not really the kind of thing that you can go into a relationship without disclosing. Especially when it's not managed or controlled or whatever they call it.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors. Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.